Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. It's Saturday, the 26th of October 2024. I hope you are keeping well. Welcome to a small segment of logic in an increasingly insane world. No news is good news, my mother used to say, and she could have been right because there's a lot of news this morning and it's all horrific. So I'll mention a couple of things that are of note. There seem to be a lot of different news stories worth looking at today, but I'll mention a couple of things anyway. First of all, Israel has decided it's going to open fire on Iran. Reports are apparently being made that there are explosions in Tehran, no less. The insane Netanyahu is continuing his what he believes to be the final war. I think it's for him. It's all or nothing, isn't it? It's suicide or bust. It seems to me. He knows that he should have been. Of course, he should have been jailed for corruption a long time ago. But now, of course, the Israeli war is just continuing against anybody that's in the surrounding area. Do Iran fund Hezbollah and other groups? Yes, obviously they do. Is Iran a superpower in terms of military? Well, close to it. It certainly has huge amounts of armaments. Is it the same as, attacking smaller groups based in other countries? Definitely not. We can only hope that this doesn't lead to huge war in the region and possibly even wider. But America has just not done enough to stop Israel's craziness. It just has gone along with everything Israel does. It's not good enough. What else is going on? The Washington Post has said it will not endorse any candidate. They've done exactly the same thing as the bootlicking Los Angeles Times a couple of days ago. Billionaires that control newspapers have decided, well, they want to keep their tax cuts and get even more money, and they worry about their other business interests like Amazon or whatever. And of course, that's the problem with allowing billionaires to control newspapers, as they do in the UK, of course. There's that. The polls are looking horrifically bad because they are so close, which should never be the case. Although I did think of one. I had an idea about something. One of the ways that they're picking up some of these numbers of voters is in early voting, right? And they are using the fact that people are registered Democrats and registered Republicans to make their judgment on how many people have voted already. And they're saying, that a higher number of Republicans have voted in early voting than previously. Well, actually, I was thinking that actually there are probably a lot of Republicans who don't want Donald Trump to be president. So just because they're registered as Republican, that doesn't mean to say that their vote has necessarily gone in that direction. There's something to think about. I mean, obviously a lot of them have, but maybe not all of them. So maybe those are fairly unreliable figures too. There's a slight glimmer of hope there, although it's still extremely depressing. And finally, in the UK, there are about to be some demonstrations because Tommy Robinson, he was a fascist, if you don't know him, out-and-out fascist, who stirs up racial hatred in the UK, as we've had a few people like him before. He has been charged with crime after he came back to the UK after travelling around Europe, avoiding his court case. And he has called out his goons to demonstrate, but fortunately there will be anti-racist demonstrations. Now, what I'm hoping is that young people still have the spirit to go out and demonstrate and don't just sit behind their keyboards, keyboard warriors or whatever, because it's physical presence needed against Nazis. Back in the 1980s, we had huge demonstrations, anti-racist demonstrations, Rock Against Racism, concerts and things like that to stop the National Front, who were a fascist group. And the response was massive. You know, the number of fascists were tiny and absolutely dwarfed by the anti-racist campaigners in the UK back in the 1980s. And I'm hoping that's going to happen again. But people need to get out and not just sit with their silly mobile phones. They need to make their presence actually felt. So good luck to all the anti-racist demonstrators who are going to be out in force, hopefully later today in London, in the UK. I think it's London, actually. All right, shall we get on with our game of Sudoku? Because it's the only nice thing I've got to mention today. Let's start with fours blocking down here. I can see several things already, actually. We've got fours blocking down here. This is our Guardian expert level for the week. Remember, once a week they publish what they call their expert level puzzle, it's always on a Saturday. So what are the other things I noticed? The 3's blocking across here like this with a 3 up here, putting the 3 here, and the 2's doing likewise with the 2's across here. And previously we had the 2 blocking down there, but now we don't need it. So that was a nice few easy digits to spot before we get into it properly. We've also got 6 up here, across and across there. 6 blocking down here, 6 across there, gives me a 6 here, and I think 6 across and down and down. And 6 is over here and down and across. 6 here, 6 across here, 6 down, 6 up. Goodbye, Mr. 6. Next, what are we looking for? 5, 7, 9 here. No, okay. Well, we've got 5 blocking across here. Oh, sorry, no, 5 blocking these 2 squares like this, and 5 blocking this square. So in this row, there's a 5. We've got 8 blocking this square, 8 blocking this square. Here's an 8. One across in this direction puts 1 into one of these 2 squares, blocking across here, 1 up here or 1 up there. And there's a 1. I see lots of 7s and 9s are missing. Actually, I don't think we've got any 7s. Have we? We've got a 9 up here. That's the only 9. And we are entirely devoid of 7s. Oh my 7th heaven. Okay, it's one of those games. We've got a digit missing. Okay, so if I move to pencil marks, I should be probably putting in pencil marks that exclude digit 7. It's a way that I usually deal with that kind of problem when it comes to pencil marks. Okay, so I better go through and see what we do have. Oh, we've got a 1 that we can get here. Let's do that. Okay. 2 up here and up here. 2 across here and here. Three blocking these 2 squares, so 3 in this square for this column. So we've got 3 and 5 blocking up there, so we do know that those 2 squares have to be 3 or 5. And that makes this here 1 or yes, 1. So 1 blocking across there. There's the 1. This is 3 or 5. This has to be 7. There we are. Is our first 7. We are not completely 7-less after all. What's missing from these 2 squares down here? 7 and something. 7 and 9. Okay, that's a 7, 9 there, of course. So let's see what we're looking for down here. Or actually, let's look at these first. We've got 7, 9 here, so this has to be 6 and 8. Any help? Yes, 6. No, it's not 6 or 8. Tell a lie. 4 and 8. No, no help on 4 or 8. Okay, down here is 4, 8, and 9, is it? I think it is. So 8's blocking across there for sure. There's the 8. And I think we're looking for 4 and 9 in those squares. Yes. And that means these have to be 1. So the 1 blocking across there. And not 4 or 9. That's another 7. So now we have a couple of 7s. We also have 7s down here. 7, 9. So that's a 7, 9 pair. Okay, so I worked out this was 7, 9. This is 7, 9. We've got 7, 9 down in these 2 squares. So we've got ourselves a pair of 7, 9 in this column, which means that these 2 squares cannot be 7 or 9. They must be 5 and 3. Any help on 5 or 3 for those? Any help, any help, any help? No. That's obviously 5, 3 there. That's 5, 3 there. This is going to be our 7, 9 pair here. Right. So 9's there, 7's there. This is a pair of 7, 9 here. So these are not 7 or 9. They have to be 3, 5, and 8. And we've got 3 and 8 together. So that's going to be a 5. And in fact, we've got 3 blocking up here as well. So that's got to be a 3. And this is going to be our 8. 8 blocking this way, 8 blocking that way. There's our 8. 8 across here, 8 down there. There's our 8. And 8 up here, up there, and across there. So 1, 6, and 8 are finished. Oh, we see. This is the 7 now then. Okay, we have 5 blocking across here, 5 down there. There's the 5. And of course we've got our 7, 9s. 7, 9s here, 7, 9 there, 7, 9 there, 7, 9 there. Still more 7, 9s around the grid. Let's see what we can do though. Let's see now. 2s. Any news on 2s? Not quite enough news yet. How about the 3s? Also not quite enough. 4. Yep, 4 blocks down there. That gives me a 4 in that square. 4 across here, 4 down here. Gives us 4 in that square. 4 down there. Gives us 4 here, 4 across there. There is our 4. This has to be a 9. Seven blocks down here. Here's our 7. This is our 9. Here's our 7. There's our 9. There's our 9. Here's our 7. 7 blocking down here. There's the 7 there. I can't remember. Was this a 7, 9 pair? I can't remember now. I better not do that. We've got 7 across here and down there for a 7. And oh, here's a 9. There we are. 9 blocking up here and 9 blocking up there. There's our 9. The last number to get, no, this is the last number here. 3, isn't it? So this is a 5, I believe. 5, we had 5, 3 over here. 5 there, 3 there. And 7 blocking across there. There's our 7, there's our 9. And what's to be done? There's 1 digit missing here. That's a 3. What's left to be done now? 9 blocking across here. Here's our 9. This is a 2. 2 blocks across there. There's a 2 and 5 finishes. So a very simple, once you work out what's going on with the 7s and 9s there, a very simple game for expert level puzzle. But people do tend to panic when they see a whole number missing, right? No need to panic. Just stick with it. You'll get there in the end. Take care. Bye-bye.